Thank you so much. I think Dale has his hand up.
Yeah, not about the saxophone. I just wanted to make a little announcement about something that we're doing over on Music NFT Radio. So lately, I've been recording a podcast over there, Music NFT Radio podcast, and we've been recording all of these different interviews with people in the community, posting them to YouTube and actually all podcast sites as well. So we already got out 5 episodes last week in just the first couple days. So it's really exciting. And we are basically moving this forward, bringing in different people from the community, artists, creators, Nifty and Fifi. I definitely want to get both of you on and just tell your story, right? Talk about what you've done in the NFT space and also just talk about what we've been doing together. And then it gets recorded and posted to YouTube instantly after we would do it on the space, and then also as a podcast. So we're just pushing it forward with Music NFT Radio, and I wanted to share that update. We've already got a few episodes out. It's been really cool, and I actually brought the Crypto Rich account in the room right now. You see below. So actually, this is recorded right now too, and I'm going to throw it up as a clip because I know that Music NFT Mastermind, we're going to be coming out as a podcast. And yeah, I mean, it's great. So this is recorded. If anyone has any questions they want to ask about what we're doing with Music NFT Radio or the podcast we're recording over there, go ahead. We're recording now for the podcast.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, and this so we have kept the recordings of almost all these spaces. Not all of them, because some of them just got lost in the mail or something. But we do have almost all of them. I would say we probably have at least 30 or 35. And we are releasing them as a podcast very soon, thanks to Feel My Flow, who's helping us release Harmony as a Web 2 album, Fifi and I. And then the podcast, which will be either weekly or maybe in the beginning, since we have so many episodes already, maybe we can be 2 times a week. But yeah, that's gonna happen pretty soon. Probably the podcast and the album. Maybe the podcast comes out in July and the album in August, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really great to get the podcasts out so that people can learn how to get into music NFTs and hear some of our conversations and start to get a feel before they come into the room, right? So we can even use this post to talk about, hey, check out the Music NFT Mastermind podcast. It's coming soon with me, Nifty, and Fifi. It's the best way to onboard into music NFTs. It can be really helpful for getting artists into the space, helping them learn, helping them get a sense for what the community is like too, coming in here, asking questions, actually hearing people live respond. So definitely look out for what we're dropping with Nifty and Fifi. I think this is episode 41, right? So we have so many hours of content, maybe like 100 hours from all of these weeks, and we're almost at a year of doing this. So hopefully it'll be a great resource for anyone who's looking to tap into the space. And maybe if you miss a week or if you're not able to, you kind of want to catch up to what we've been doing, then you can do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. We have a couple of hands up, and then we have PX also, who was here for a while. So let's hear first from the hands. We have Ryan, and then Enfoma, and then we hear from PX. How's it going, Ryan?
Hey everybody, can you hear me okay?
No, it sounds like you're far away from the phone. I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of noise in the background.
Oh, is it better now? You know what,
Mm,
actually, come back. Actually, we can go to the other hand, and just like come back to me after. But,
okay, no problem. Yeah,
just
yeah. It
can't
It's not
talk
sounds.
to
that
me right
bad.
now.
It's not too bad. Yeah, we can hear you if you want. But if you are
Okay,
going to a better place soon, then yeah, we can
yeah,
we can hear
I'm
first
in,
from Enfoma.
I'm in a car right now, so that's probably why. But, if you can hear me, then cool. If not, just like let me know. But my name is Ryan. I am a music artist, predominantly in Web3. I'm dropping a project in July, and I just had a question that I don't know. I'm curious to know what you all. I don't know. This question for everybody. What are you guys most excited about for NFT NYC in terms of like music NFT stuff?
Well, I'm a little biased, but I gotta say, Webstock, of course. We're gonna be bringing out some amazing artists like NiftySax, like Violetta. We wish we could bring out Fifi, but maybe next time, you know. And we're gonna be bringing more artists into what we're doing with Webstock as we move forward too. So this event at NFT NYC is just the beginning of what we've started there. It's a music festival DAO. And then there's a lot of other amazing events too. I mean, just in general, I think the satellite events are going to be great. Like I'll be speaking about being an independent artist in Web3 at NFT NYC. But I really think just finding the satellite events and seeing what interests you, or if you're interested in any of the NFTs and going to as many as possible. But I'm sure everyone has a bunch of events they're looking at.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have no idea what I'm most excited about, but yeah, there's definitely definitely many things. I'm looking forward to playing some shows, and then we have also with one of our artists with Nifty Music. I mean, our first artist, Violetta, has been nominated for Best Application of Music NFTs. So if she wins, she's also the only woman that's been nominated. That would be definitely really good for us as a company. And so also looking forward to that. We got Shiba King here is our community moderator. Uh, and your hand up. Please go ahead. Let's hear from you.
What's going on, Nifty? How are you, bud? How's everybody doing here, Dill? How's everybody doing? So you guys hanging out? I'm just waking up. Had a long evening last night. For the first time in a while, I actually went out and enjoyed myself. But just want to say what's up. I'm hanging out, doing the thing with Violetta community this week. Me and Mike are going to be running the show with Marco. I forgot his name. The other guy who's she put as mod because she's taking a little break for New York City. But I wanted to add to it. I'm excited for New York City and for music NFTs because of I'm going to a bunch of different shows. Like I'm going to be at the one that Sammy, pretty sure you're going to be there too, Nifty. There's a few other ones that I'm going to that has to do with NFT music. And then I'm also going to go to some dinners. I'm doing like a Lazy Lion dinner. I'm going to go hang out with the grandpas at Top Golf or whatever the heck they're doing. So there's a lot of cool stuff that it's going to be at New York City on top of the event itself. So I'm just excited to go around and see everybody and listen to some good music. I don't know if you saw the stream of the concert, Nifty, but we had, besides the one troll that came in and screamed on the mic, but besides that, it was a really good concert. Came out really clear. Sammy and Violetta absolutely killed it. I was laughing on the computer, but I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what they do for New York.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I think we figured out with Robin the problem was that somebody leaked the link. So the link usually is shared in the VIP chat, which only the holders can access. And of course, we trust our holders not to be assholes. But I think somebody shared it on Twitter or something. And then, of course, yeah, some trolls came in. But unfortunately, I wasn't there. But apparently, Violetta dealt with it pretty well. So it probably was just a part of the entertainment of the night.
It was a brief 60 seconds of a troll that we muted, kicked him, and then we started up again 30 seconds later. So it wasn't too bad. It was the first time ever too, so you got to have some technical errors, right?
Yeah, that's all right. No, man, thank you for being there. We have two hands up, and then I want to hear from Warburn, who wanted to bring up some research that he did. So actually, yeah, we have Ellie and Foma, then PX, GodCloud, and Warburn. There's a lot of people, so let's be mindful of everybody's time, and let's hear from everyone. So Ellie first, and then Anfoma.
Oh, I was just going to say, when is NFT NYC, by the way? Like what days?
Officially, I think from the 20th to the 24th, and then there's a bunch of other satellite events happening around that time.
It's because I was just invited to that. I opened NFT Austin. I sang the national anthem there, so I opened that event, and then I was invited to NYC, but I didn't get any confirmation because I had to get surgery. I'm actually currently getting over my surgery. I had to get my surgery on Friday, so I left the convention center early because I had to, a day early, or actually two, because I didn't finish the concessions, but because I had to get surgery, and I have forgotten completely about that. But if I am there, I will hook up with you guys, because I would love to be able to connect with a lot of great artists and musicians as well. But so that was pretty much it. I don't have I don't even know. Like I was just thrown this information recently, and so I was like, I don't even know what days they are. I have to like ask people to figure it out if it fits in my schedule, because I don't want something else to happen again where I'm called out all of a sudden. So, well, thank you so much. That was it for now.
No, thank you. So we have, I think next we had PX. Oh, and Fulma, sorry, you have your hand up. Let's hear from you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just had a quick question. Um, I was like interested as to what you guys use for aggregation to like Spotify and stuff like that. Like, are you guys still doing like the traditional like Web 2 routes, or are you guys doing it in like a decentralized way? Like, I'm still trying to like find a platform that like uh
Yeah, I can send you a link for Two Lost, which is what I use. It's only a couple bucks a month, and you keep 100% of what you make. So, and
yeah,
then they
definitely.
send it to all the sites for you.
Yeah, that'd be fire. Thanks. And I liked what you guys were saying too about just like um the Mastermind podcast and the Music NFT podcast, and kind of like archiving those. Because I kind of like am like setting my ideas around just like education like that, and I think that is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, thank you, man. Um,
Yeah, definitely, man. I think it's going to be great. Also, it's just so much content, right? And when it's here on Twitter, it's not really searchable. There's not really a good way to go back to it. So I think getting it out on all platforms will make it like really valuable content long term for the whole community. And yeah, I mean, that's why I think it's important to just start going and putting it out there and making it on YouTube and podcast sites, wherever it can be searched.
I have a follow-up
yeah.
question. Are you distributing music with Feel My Flow, Fifi, or just, and I guess Nifty, or just the podcast? Because I want to do that. It's just, it almost seems too good to be true. It's just a one-time fee, and then you get the service forever.
Yeah, this is a part of their service, and you actually get a lot of utilities for by joining. So the token is 0.1. The reason I know, I think sometimes like in this Web3 environment, sometimes you just like miss that bit of information. So what happened is they are South African based before, and then they moved to the UK and London. And I was looking for vinyl players, so I went to their house, Nicola's house, and that's when I realized what they do. So because I really like this person and this vibe, and he's like really community oriented. He understands what we do, and so the beginning of their business is distributing music. So they have the whole setup, and so they're charging kind of like a little to do all these service, and then they are just a great team of people. So then I decided when I got back, I was like, yeah, let's try this token, and they really can take care of everything else. And then I have a Chinese team on the ground for Greater China, so I just like send this to the distributor to connect with my Chinese team on the distribution side, and they can in China they can do some marketing as well. I don't think it's too good to be true though, because you can quite easily do it yourself to release on DistroKid or Ditto Music or CD Baby, that kind of stuff. Depends on how handy and how admin that you want to do. But with this team, it's because I like the people and then they understand what we do. And there's another thing. Yeah, they're doing like this concert, metaverse concert thing. Like as in they have like a venues, and then they're doing, they're having like a whole setup. So the artists can go to this location and then do some shows. So they really look after their artist. And there was some other stuff, but yeah, that's kind of like what I know, and I'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like for example, Two Lost is $20 a year. So if they're charging point one for the all access, that's a lot of years of use of another platform. So it's just a service that's available at a really affordable price nowadays. So I feel my flow looks really cool, and I believe it. It seems believable. It's a smart idea.
Yeah, it definitely 100% sounds too good to be true, but I have met the people here in London and they're good people. I was very, very skeptical. So first we had a meeting on Zoom and they seemed fine. Then we met here in person and they seem even more fine. So yeah, it's just a great service. I have no idea why they're doing it this way. I think mostly they're just trying to build. So now basically it's like getting in early. And so the first customers are going to get an amazing deal. I am pretty sure that this is not sustainable, and I actually asked them, like, how the hell are you making money? And they have plenty of other plans to make money. This is not how they make money. This is just something that they're doing for their early customers. So it's marketing for them. They're spreading the word about their service because now we're talking about them because it's so good. Like, oh, how can it be so good? And so then they grow, and that's kind of their business model. So yeah, you can probably trust them. I can't vouch 100%, but I've met the people and they seem very good. So I say 99.9%, yes, you can trust them.
They also have artists, like they are a label as well. So it's like a little music group, a brand that, like Nifty said, distribution is a lane of their work. They have bigger plans. So I think it's definitely a smart move to have us on the side because we are very grassroots. And if we test it out and, the experience is great, then we'll be talking about it like we do. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good question. Let's hear from Genzo has his hand up. Then I want to hear from Warburn about the research that he did.
Yeah, I have not met these dudes in real life, but I've interacted with them a lot. The Feel My Flow guys, they seem very upfront and cool, and it isn't too good to be true because I can tell you also not to undercut their business, but you can use amuse.io for free, and you can upload your stuff to all the sites for free. They have a free tier, they have a paid tier. So there are options out there. If you just go to amuse.io, which is actually incidentally what Little Nas X used, he just used their free tier and put up that song and blew up. So the reason they do that is that their business model, I mean, first of all, they had a lot of VC, like, investors, whatever. And their model is more that they track their stats and then they try to upstream certain artists that are performing well and offer them like actual label deals. And then they, are sharing in the revenue or whatever, which they tried actually with Little Nas X, but he said no and went off and signed with Sony or whatever. But yeah, there are options out there. I mean, if you just go to amuse.io, you could have your stuff in all the stores for free.
No, that's good to know. Definitely. Well, then yeah, that's definitely another good option. Let's hear from Warburn.
Hi everyone, hope you're doing okay. Thanks very much for bringing me up. Yeah, no, I was interested quite recently just whether a project's percentage creativity was correlated with the volume or turnover in any way. So what I did was I went on to OpenSea under the We Can Explore Music category and get trending collections and music. And basically just looked at all of those projects. There were about 30 projects that came up at the time. And yeah, no, so I went through and I sort of just gathered some data on what the project creativity was, total volume, blockchain, and also the floor price as well. And then I looked to just basically group them. I mean, most of them, of the 38, sort of about 12 projects were sort of 5% or lower. Most of them were just at the 5%, couple of 3.5% creative. 5 were sort of middle of the range between that sort of 5 and 10% mark, and 21 sort of all at the 10% behind. And there certainly did seem to be a bit of a correlation there that those projects with a creativity of 5% or less had a higher total lead volume compared to the 10%, but it was also graded as well. So the one in the middle was slightly still slightly higher than the 10% one. And then you can also calculate obviously what the expected royalties would have been for the project of the artist on the basis of that, and that correlates quite as well. But I thought it might have been pretty similar because the higher volume might offset the smaller creative fee, but actually from the cross-section that I saw, that the higher sort of royalty that would have been produced on average, we're only talking about the averages here, with the low percentage creator fees. So it made me sort of wonder what potential reasons behind that were, and obviously as music artist itself or those thinking of it, really interested to know what your thoughts on that. And I can come back, if you've got any questions about some of that, just fire away. That might be a better way to respond.
Yeah, this is very interesting research, man, and I was thinking about this myself, but I never really looked into it too much, and it would be very, very fascinating to see. Like now, as I said also via DM, like I think the most important factor is the number of items in a collection, but it would be fascinating to see if a lower percentage for royalties actually means more revenue, because then means that collectors are more willing to sell, and also they're more willing to sell closer at the price that they bought at, just to make a smaller profit, and then would result in more sales. What I know is that collections that are very big, like I don't know, 5,000 or 10,000, they usually set a small royalty, maybe like 2.5%, because they can afford it. They have so many items, and the volume is just going to be more automatically. And usually it has been the standard for musicians to set 10%, but it would be very, very cool to see actually people making more money with less percentages. So I think, yeah, what we should do if we want to really look into it is go through OpenSea API and then figure out all the items in the collection, and then cross-reference with how much secondary volume there was, which of course correlation doesn't mean causation. Sometimes a project is just better than another, but it would be definitely interesting to look at the numbers, because yeah, most musicians have been setting their royalties at 10%. It's just what, I don't know, it's just what we all do for whatever reason. But who knows, maybe we can make more money with less.
No, I completely agree, and obviously, um, just navigating some of the contracts and some of the other things, it takes time. So happy to speak to someone who knows where to find some other information that can be added to this. Obviously, the longer it goes, the more out of date it is, because it's constantly changing. So this is obviously a bit of a snapshot at the time. I mean, the question after you said in the DM, the question about, well, they've just got more items, so of course they're going to have greater volume. Well, that's only the case if the demand is there, and the driver for demand might be, well, lower price. So I went back, and when I was looking at the floor prices, I looked at the average floor prices, and actually those with the lower percentage rate fee, actually on average, had a higher average floor price. So when I looked at it, it was 0.36, and then for the middle group, it was 0.24, and for the 10% group, it was 0.17. So this higher, greater number of items in the collection, but so it could generate higher volume, but it's also got a greater floor price. It's obviously not putting people off. But yes, there are things like how long the collection's been out, which I've not been able to get the data on, and other things that come into it. And obviously, if we get enough data, fine, I could do a regression model. But this was just explore. That's the point.
Yeah, no, man, that's awesome, and thank you so much for doing that. So what I am planning to do about this is definitely asking all of our community, because now, I mean, in our Discord there's like, I don't know, 1,700 people. We can definitely try to have a poll there and see what's the feeling about secondary royalties, because I know personally that it does hurt when you're buying an NFT and you want to resell it for a bit of a profit, because maybe you need some liquidity, and it does hurt if you have to pay 12.5%, because 2.5 goes to OpenSea and then 10% to the creator. So of course, I'm very happy to send back money to the creator, but sometimes it's just difficult to make a profit if you just need some quick liquidity, because for liquidity you're probably selling close to the floor, And so I do understand that for some investors, it's probably annoying, and they just don't even, they might not even want to touch that. So first of all, yeah, I definitely want to have a poll, and then we might experiment with changing the royalties, because those can be changed at all times and they're platform dependent. So if I go to OpenSea right now, or Violetta, or Robin, we can all change to the percentage to 2.5, and that's what it's going to be until we change it again. And also we can change it on any other platform. So we can actually run some experiments and keep it for a month at 2.5, and then another month at 5, another month at 10, and see what happens. So yeah, all good research is going to take some time, but I think that's very, very interesting, and I want to absolutely look into it.
Great. Yeah, no, the scientism is starting to think, first Web3 music trial, randomized trial anyway, but
yeah, that's
but
awesome.
thanks very much for your time. And listen, if anybody's got any queries or wants to have a look at the data that I've got, right, just reach out and I'll share all the specifics. You can have a look at yourself then. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what other people think about this, or if they did any research or any personal experience. This is very, very interesting to me. And if not, then anybody else that would like to come up, please feel free to request to speak. And yeah, we are probably gonna end it also a little bit earlier today, so we have about 30 minutes left. Um, but yeah, anybody is super welcome to come up. I see a lot of friends in the audience as well. Um, and yeah, if you have a question or anything else you'd like to bring up, please feel free. I think we still haven't spoken to God Cloud, and I think that's it. Yeah. Anybody else, please request.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm sitting here trying to perfect my iced coffee game right now. Kind of came in late to the convo, trying to catch up. Yeah, happy to be here. So what do you what what's the general convo for today? Maybe I could add some quote unquote expertise.
Well, no, the latest point is just the most fascinating for me is the idea that an artist might make more money with secondary with a smaller royalty percentage. So let's say instead of setting 10%, they set 2.5. And let's say, for example, that an artist that set 10% maybe made 2 ETH in secondary, but an artist that said 2.5 might have made 5. And but we don't know. Like Warburn did a little bit of research, and that's what came out from the research. But of course, there are many factors that need to be considered, and they were not yet. So yeah, we just want to kind of see what's out there. And I personally will do some research with my own NFTs and with the NFTs from Nifty Music, and we'll see what happens. What do you have any personal experience with secondary royalties? Did you set always 10% or lower? Did you see any differences?
I always try to go for around 5. I mean, like I've done it at 5. I've done it at 10. What I always think is that it's really important to, or with some projects that we put out, that sometimes it might not be, it might not be the intention for this one to go, or for one to go to the flippers. Like one that I have out right now, I'm not really considering, for people to flip it. Like what in my mind, I kind of want people to get it and hold on to it, because I'm kind of using that as a portal to allow them to get more access to more stuff that I'm doing. But other things that I put out, I would like them to flip. I think it's cool that they could kind of like trade them around and do whatever. So that being said, when you're thinking about things in that way, you have to structure the price accordingly and your percentage accordingly. You know what I'm saying? So it's always important to try to leave that space for people to, upcharge if they want to, for them to be able to profit off of the resale and not get gouged on the percent. Um, and the thing that we've seen it, with free mints, and we can talk about the original free mint, crypto punks, and how well they did, off of that. and just the fact that there was so much room for growth that it leaves a lot of, you know, space to get more revenue on the secondary sales. So if you are making a drop and you want people to, you know, successfully flip and be more inclined to flip, then definitely, in my mind anyway, if I'm approaching it that way from that mindset, it's like I'm trying to flip whatever. I think a lower percentage would, royalty percentage would be ideal. You know, maybe a more affordable price too, so I can, you know, maybe mark it up and make some, and not have to pay so much back, and maybe that would increase the volume of the sales of the flips. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that it's a psychological thing too, and it's all in there. So yeah, I think that it would work. You know, lower royalty percentage, people would be more inclined to sell. So that's just my thoughts on it. You know, I've had people sell some things of mine for, you know, at 10 for way higher. I've seen things like go up and all that. So, you know, just like you were saying, we got to keep experimenting. It's still really fresh here. So, you know, but I think that, yeah, that could be something to do to help everybody out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, let's all collectively experiment because this could be interesting. I mean, we could learn a lot, and we could benefit the whole space. Because what Warburn was saying, that actually, if the artist can make more money with 2.5%, it's a win-win, because then the collectors are also happier. So if we have a win-win scenario and actually we can achieve it, that's better. So let's try to get to work towards that. I think it would be cool if everybody experiments, but it does make sense if you have a larger collection. If you only have like 10 15 pieces, then of course that's hard. But anybody that has more than like 3 4 500 pieces, you can definitely experiment for a few months and see what happens. So let's hear from Genzo, and then Songs of Eden. See your hands up, and then we have Marcel.
So yeah, I have no experience with secondaries, unfortunately, yet, but I am working currently on a project for Async, which is a generative music thing, which I'm super psyched about. And they do have but they, you know, their royalties are all set. Like basically for the blueprints thing, which is the generative stuff, it's 20% actually goes to Async, and on the secondary sales, it's an artist revenue of 7.5. So my question is, sorry, Warburn for me was really ruggy, and so I kind of missed some of what he said. And what was sort of the ideal? I think he was getting at kind of what the ideal percentage is for encouraging secondary sales.
Well, from yeah, it was getting a bit rugged. I don't know, Warburn, if you have better internet now or something, but from the research, he has a tweet about it also. Hopefully, you can find it on his profile. But 2.5% seem to make more money for the artist. But again, there's many factors that need to be considered, because usually bigger collections set a lower royalty. So that might be what happened. That these big collections, of course, made more money.
Yeah, is that any better?
Well, yeah,
A little bit.
it sounds good, but also isn't that just because Bored Apes are 2.5%? Like
No,
they
we're
just
talking
completely
we're
done.
talking about music NFTs, though, right, Warburn? This is
Yeah,
specifically.
this is purely music, music projects, and but the thing is, it's I think it's almost the pattern that's a stronger message as well. So, you know, at the moment, there's three categories that I looked at. So you've got 5% and under, 10% and above, and then the third category is obviously in the middle. But the change is, yes, the lower percentage secondary creator fee had a higher volume and higher royalty generator than the 10%. But there was a graded thing. So as you went from 10% to the middle category, and the middle category had higher volume and creator fee. And then when you went to the small category, the 5% and stuff, it got even greater. So the pattern can also be quite informative as well. And yeah, I mean, I think from my perspective, I was going into this just interested to see, well, listen, you can change the percentage creator fee, but if your earnings are going to be the same, irrespective of what you set, you probably want to go for one that's of beneficial to your community as well. So it's more of a win-win. So I wasn't probably expecting to have from the outset think it would have generated more. But yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, I definitely think it needs to be tested, but it also depends what is the purpose of your secondary market, right? Because from what I've seen, the secondary sales, at least for music NFTs, a lot of times come from the artist or the project really pushing it forward. So, it really depends what your strategy is. If it's more of like a collection that you just put out and it's art or generative work that you're kind of just letting it grow the community itself, then maybe it's better with the lower royalty. But I think there's definitely cases where it'll be better for the higher royalty for the artists to be able to build more for their community and stuff. But that's interesting. I definitely want to take a look at more.
Yeah, let's see. Let's experiment. I will report back in 3 months. This stuff takes time because also you never know. Like maybe the market is down like right now, and then there's a bull run. But yeah, let's run some experiments and see what we can do. We can also bring up this question whenever we talk with other people that have bigger collections, and it's definitely something that we need to learn. I mean, we're all evolving together, so let's see what we can do. We definitely want a win-win scenario if possible for collectors and artists. um, so with that said, I think, I don't know, there's no new speakers. Songs of Eden, I think you had your hand up. I'm not sure if it's still there, and I want to
I'm here. I'm
again
here.
extend the invite. Oh yeah, anybody that would like to come up, please request to speak. Just chatting about music NFTs, literally just brainstorming and coming up with ideas.
Yeah, I just wanted to add real quick about Amuse, changing subject here, but I just wanted to add that their free plan, that first, they don't deliver to as many stores as DistroKid. And at their free plan, you can't do splits in between songwriters. And yeah, so just wanted to add that there are some like differences in between the paid and the free plan with Amuse.
Oh yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, actually, for example, also with DistroKid, if you actually want the good stuff, you are gonna end up paying probably like $150 right away, plus I don't know, 30 or 40 per year. So because most of the good stuff you will probably want. I mean, personally, I want it. Like all of the, like for example, you can pay extra for having your music permanently there, because otherwise, if you stop paying, music goes away. So there's all of these little things that you will probably want. All of the add-ons actually are quite expensive. And with CD Baby also it's a similar thing. You pay a 10% fee, so you're gonna pay all the time, but at least you pay only $50 up front. So yeah, there's many different options. So what Feel My Flow offers seems actually, yeah, quite good. I don't know exactly what are the features that they offer, so I will have to look deeper into that. But yeah, that's definitely good to know.
They say they distribute to over 200 stores, so that's a lot. I haven't really looked into which one exactly, and then there are a lot of Chinese ones. It's just my Chinese site is taking over, so if you guys want to do it, and then they would be distributing to all the major platforms on in China as well. So yeah, that's yeah.
And
Yeah.
another thing, if I can add just real quick, that I love about DistroKid is that it's almost like a storage. You have all the WAV files handy, which you don't on Amuse. So whenever you need either the cover art or the WAV file, you just log on to DistroKid and download it. It sounds like I'm working for DistroKid. I'm not just. I'm just
I
happy with
actually,
them.
yeah, I work with. I mean, I distribute myself with them, and I think the best feature is the collaborator. So with the email registered, then the money directly goes to your collaborator, like 50-50, for example, if you collaborate with one person. And then that's a really handy feature. I do like them. With my latest album, I was distributing through the Orchard. So it's kind of distributor to company. And I had my PR company that's representing me. So after 1 year, I'm going to take it back. So if Feel My Flow works well, I'm just going to have a handover by my album from the Orchard to DistroKid. To the Feel My Flow. It's just kind of like the hassle of those kind of transition. If you already have a team to do it for you, then saves the energy. But in Web2, we've done everything. Like writing envelopes and sending, being a post boy, post girl. There's a lot of legwork, so I really kind of like don't mind. But this is just one thing that I can delegate now, so that makes life easier.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, whenever we can save time, we should definitely take that little opportunity, especially in Web3. We're all running around like crazy. So we have about 10 minutes left in the conversation since it seems like it's reaching its natural conclusion today. But yeah, if anybody else wants to come up and just say hi, please feel free. Um, yeah. Um,
This is not a shill, but I will say after the space closes, if anyone wants to come by and hang out with me and Grifter and Aurora at 11:30 for CT20 space, we're going to be talking about stuff. And then later at 1 p.m. Pacific, which I don't, maybe that's too late for you Europeans, but I would love it if you guys came. As a lot of you know, I've been dragging my entire family into the Web3 space, and we're actually going to start doing a weekly family space where all four of us co-hosting with Chikai Ohazama, and we're just going to be talking kind of like, well, it's called Life is Worth Living, and we're going to be talking about like art creation, why do you get up in the morning, mental health, all that kind of fun stuff. Maybe performances every now and then, whatever. So would love it if you guys came and hung out there.
I am loving that idea. I always, like, from a year ago, I keep telling couples, I was like, do a couple space and then do this, because it's very unique. There's so many couples around, like not the marriage counseling, that was something else, but that was we're being like a salty space, just like an experiment. But with this family, it's such a great idea, especially, we all want to be adopted by your family. That's how good your family is. So yeah, I'm so happy for you that you're doing this. Please keep doing, and I want to join. What time is it? What time is it at your family space?
That one is 1 p.m. Pacific. So
Okay,
West Coast time.
Right, is it every Sunday?
It'll be every Sunday. We'll probably be doing it
Yeah.
a little earlier on the following Sundays, but we have this other space at 11:30 that Grifter and Aurora and I are doing too. So.
Oh, that's really great, because that's kind of like my evening time, so it's definitely possible. And also, congrats, like I do encourage everyone to, check out the CT space. Not only you get in, the goodies from the collector and also the artist. His sense of humor, like you can take that one for free. He's something else. Very, very cold British humor. If you want to know what that is like, definitely go and support. And I think, we have a few minutes left. We can talk about the Discord concert. We might be moving that to Saturday. That's Nifty Music Discord concert. So Pink Star is performing. Hopefully Saturday is okay. It's 2 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Eastern. So whoever, if you're interested, just DM me or Nifty. If you want to play there. Hopefully, Genzo, your family, this time you can be free and join us. That is one thing. And what else, Nifty? Do you have anything? And then we'll have a deal to, also to talk about the latest you want to talk about by yourself.
Yeah, no, that's just the things coming up maybe in the summer, like just to reiterate. So with Nifty Music, we have a few drops coming up. There's Josh Savage, the next one. It's probably just a matter of a few weeks. We're finalizing just a few things. And then we have Dill, who's doing his own drop, but we are helping him out to swap his contract from the OpenSea shared storefront to his own custom contract. Then we have Fifi with a super cool collection and artwork by Pinks. That's gonna be really, really insane. I can't wait to show it to everyone. And then we got my own drop, which is the anniversary of the Spheres, and I'm gonna drop Synergy, who's my next collection. I still didn't really say anything about it, but I want for for another little while. And yeah, these are the things coming up and shortly. And for as far as other releases like Harmony, everybody that has collected, now we took the snapshot and we are sending the one of ones. We recorded them already. There's one more piece coming out, the one of one as well. It's called Soulstar. And then the album comes out in Web2 everywhere, also in China, thanks to Fifi's management, and they're actually going to push it quite a bit. So it could be definitely a good thing to get in Harmony before that happens, because that might bring quite a lot of eyes. China, is a huge market, and so that might be really good for the whole community. And yeah, the album comes out in probably in August. We still have to figure out the exact date. And I think that's it for me. And yeah, I do have one piece out now, in on Min Song's version 2. It's a alternative version from my 2014 album. And yeah, it's called Samba Soul. If you want to check out some jazzy stuff, that's what I used to do many years ago, and which I still do. But that's something I never released. It's just an alternate take, those takes that you do in the studio just to see if everything is alright with the mic. So you just go completely all out, and I never put it out anywhere. So now it's out on Ethereum. And if you want to check it out, it's one of my latest tweets.
Speaking of the V2 one of one, I've got one as well, and I forgot to say this month and next month is kind of my, it's around this time, is around my 10 years anniversary as FifiRong as an artist, to celebrate my music journey. So that all leads to, so the first thing that I did is with V2, I just dropped Other Side. It's something that I wrote 10 years ago, but then I've made it into my latest production. And also I re-recorded it. And I'm obsessed with 7, so I priced it at 0.77 ETH. And so that's like the first thing celebrating the 10 years anniversary. And then I have this Forget EP, and then that's with the Nifty Music. We are dropping smaller collection, so different remixes and leading up to a one of one original song. And then that is kind of like a most loved song, but never released by the fans. So that also celebrates like this 10-year thing. And then this like a several EP drop, and then going into a blind mint for the collectors as a free plus mint. Is it free plus mint, isn't it? So this one, and then the whole thing, this EP will lead to the collection within Nifty Music. So that's what I'm about to do. A bit thrilled, a bit excited, because it's been a while, coming up to almost a year by this time coming into NFT. So it feels like I'm just about to launch my Web3 career properly, because before it was like, Web2, I'm trying to like glue this bridge together, coming over. But I think so far so good. But this time it's like a proper Web3 career launch, just post the 10 years being in Web2 as an independent artist. So that's what I'm doing. I'll pass it over to Dill.
Yeah, thanks. Another great week. Love this show. Thanks for having me on, Nifty, Fifi. Really excited for NFT NYC. Everybody come check out Webstock. Get your DAO pass. Even if you're not going to be at New York, still get involved with Webstock. It's a dope project. We are working on a bigger music festival. This is just the Genesis party that's happening at New York. So come hang out. It's going to be dope. And of course, come hang on Music NFT Radio. Like I said, we're going to be interviewing artists now and interviewing different communities. So come check out what we're doing with the podcast side. But of course, you can always come vibe to the hits of Web3 and Music NFTs. We play music for artists. So just come in and hang out. We'll play your music. And other than that, you can look up the podcast, look up on YouTube or Spotify, Music NFT Radio, and you'll find a bunch of content now.
All right, let's go. Awesome. There's one more speaker, KRP, to ask a question or bring up a topic before we close.
Hi, hey everyone, and I'm coming in very late. Milo had asked me to join in before. So to start off, I wanted to thank Milo for this, opportunity. And Dill, I've been following you for a while. FifiRong, glad to have you on the space. And yeah, Mike is also here. Mike Bass, and bunch of people here. Just a tiny question. I have been building my community um, for like since February, March now. I'm planning to do one thing. I'm planning to I just wanted to know what you guys think of this real quick before you guys close. I'm actually planning to give one song for free to over 200 people. I'm figuring out how to do it. Obviously, I'm divided between doing it on Ethereum or Polygon. Either ways, what do you guys think of the idea? Is a free airdrop better, either on ETH or Polygon, or is it better to do it as a minting, free to mint, where the recipient pays for gas? So the question is free to mint better or free airdrop better? So thanks, guys. Anyone who would like to answer it, I'd really appreciate that.
My first question would be, who are these 200 people? Are they Web3 natives, or are they Web2 people? And also, if they are from Web3, are these 200 people based on Ethereum mainly in the community, or
Okay.
who are they?
Okay, so these people are all on Web3. They're all on Twitter and Discord. These are all people that I have been talking to since the start of my journey, FifiRong. Since the start of my journey, I've been speaking to these people. I'm actively speaking to new people every day. I'm actively building an audience. I'm, going one to one and talking to these people. These are all people who are probably on the Chill RX community, maybe on, for example, NiftySax community, maybe on the catalog sound. So I've been building relationships one to one with these people. They're all on Web3. I've been slowly, organically sending them my music, and I've been telling them that hey, I'm dropping a song, would you like a copy? And they've all said yes. They've all given me their ETH addresses, and I am making a list of this. Now, someone told me that if you do it on Ethereum airdrop, number one, it will be very expensive, because 200 people is a lot of money. I haven't looked at the mechanics of it, but I do know there is something called a bulk sender. I'm looking into that. So yeah, Fifi Wrong, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that's yeah. This comes up a lot. So from my personal experience, we've done both. I've also with Nifty Music, we've done drops on Polygon. Personally, I will never do it again, just because yeah, it's free, it's cheap, but it's also worthless. Like you get what you pay for, like people don't really care about stuff that they just get in their wallet. So free plus gas is definitely better. And I can tell you why. Because the thing is that if you get a free plus gas, you actually gain something from the knowledge of who actually goes there to mint. Otherwise, you're sending 200 things and you have no idea if they've seen it, if they liked it. But if somebody is willing to spend a little bit of gas to mint something of yours, then you know that they're invested in you. They at least like what you do a little bit. They're willing to put down a little bit of money. That's gonna bring a huge return to you, because even if you only mint 20 out of 200, those 20 people are gonna be interested in what you do, and that's so much more valuable.
Okay.
And also, there's a resale value as well, because on ETH, for people who hold your NFT, and then it's very possible for them to sell at a small profit, and then that really benefits
Absolutely.
your
That's what I'm
collectors.
thinking about as well. That's what I'm thinking about as well. But a question here: if I mint out 200 people, if I send it to 200 people on Ethereum, any ballpark figure estimate of how much it will cost me, even if I use something like a bulk sender?
Yeah, that will cost. You can think of it like on a high gas day, which these days is maybe like about maybe 50 gwei, because it goes lower these days. But I think you should consider probably around $30 per NFT. So it's definitely
Got
not feasible on
it.
Ethereum right now. So there are, but there are ways if you have your own contract, like a 721A, what we did with Violetta. Like
Mm-hmm.
if somebody goes there to mint, it's like $5. It's nothing, so it's way
Yeah,
cheaper. And so that's what I would recommend doing.
that's what I'm looking at.
Um,
That's what I'm looking at. I mean, $5 is quite okay. I can send it to 50 people as a rare. But I'm sorry, real quick, Milo. So how did you pull this off exactly? I hope this is not taking too much of the time of the people here. If it's a long question, we can always take it to DM. But if there's something
I,
that I can follow
how
up
did
on,
I what? How did I pull what off exactly?
no, how did you pull off the smart contract and the $5 per transaction
Oh,
thing?
well, I mean, I didn't write the contract. Robin did. Wei Z, who's the other, is basically CTO of Nifty Music. But if you Google ERC 721A, there's literally a website called ERC721A, and it tells you all about it. You can actually learn a lot, and you can copy what they do, and just implement it in your own drop if you know a little bit about coding in Solidity, which I don't, but I have a guy that does. So you can also pay someone to do that for you.
Okay, could you tell me the name of this person? Probably I can connect with him if that's okay with you, or maybe later we
Sure,
could discuss.
sure. I mean, Robin is very busy, so I can almost guarantee that he's not gonna get back to you. But yeah, it's at
Understand. No,
Wazy.
I actually, this is something I said. It's an idea for me. I can talk to some people about because
Yeah,
I'm already in touch with someone. But thanks, Milo. Thanks, FifiRong. This is
no
something I just,
problem. And
yeah.
yeah, I would really recommend to Google ERC721A. Is an optimized contract, and it was created by the Azuki, if I'm not mistaken. And now a lot of people are switching to it, which is great because minting is so cheap. Even if you mint like 20 items, before you had to pay gas for each item. If you minted 20 of something, that was
Mm,
super expensive. Now you
mm.
can mint all of those in most, like kind of like what you would pay for like maybe 2 mints. So it's amazing. So yeah, I
Great.
strongly encourage you to Google it and
But
maybe research a little bit on YouTube and stuff like that.
but a question here, do I have to pay for 20, 30, or 40 mints? Because we're discussing the recipient paying a gas fee, right? So do I pay or the recipient pays?
So you will have to pay to release the contract. So keep aside
Oh,
like $200 or $300, probably more, depending on how much stuff you put in the contract, and then the people pay the gas to mint. If
oh,
you set the mint price at zero, they will pay zero ETH plus whatever the gas is, which is gonna be
got it.
like $5 or $15.
I'm gonna research this. I'm gonna research this. Thanks, Milo.
No, no worries. Thank you for coming up.
Yeah.
So we have Jeb Deasy. Maybe you also have a question or a topic you'd like to bring up before we close.
I'm actually driving in the car now to where but I was just coming in
Oh,
with
this
the
is
topic.
quite
The
loud.
topic
We
is,
hear we hear a
yeah.
lot of the music, but not a lot of the voice. I think you're in a restaurant or something. What's up?
Yeah, no, I'm driving home from the camping experience, but I saw the name, and it's definitely like something I'm involved in. So I'm just here to listen, soak up the knowledge.
All right, no worries. Yeah, it's a bit loud. It's difficult to hear, but yeah, thank you for coming. And we're here every single week, so we're super happy to have you next week at the same time. So I would say let's hear if Dil and Fifi have some last words.
Oh yeah, I just want to get everyone to this NFT music radio because we already had our last words. So yeah, Dale, do you have anything else?
Now that's it. Thanks. Let's head over to Music NFT Radio. We'll see you over there. And this will be posted on the YouTube as well, where you can listen to this. So it'll be a good little preview for what's coming with Music NFT Mastermind podcast.
That's awesome. Let's go. All right. Yeah. So everybody go check out Dil Music NFT Radio where you can actually listen to music NFTs. He's playing all music from Web3 artists. And you just sit there and listen. Like there's no talking as far as I know. So just go there. It's also a good thing to connect with other people because you can go in there. Probably mostly are gonna be other fellow musicians, so you can check out their profiles and maybe see what they do and I don't know, send a DM to somebody. So with that said, today was another great space. We're keeping them just slightly shorter these days. We'll see how that works because we want to release this as a podcast, so we don't want to have it like super long. But yeah, we definitely keep going every single week. So we'll see you next Sunday. And with that said, I'm gonna close the space in 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Bye
1.
bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.